Hi everyone. Let's take a look at the solutions to the week 4 assignment. There were only 3 questions. The first one was a consumer choice problem. I'm going to work that one out for you, and then I'll talk a little bit about the other 2. I've already typed those up because I think the first one is the one where perhaps seeing it worked out will be helpful. So I gave you marginal utility numbers for 2 different things, wings and lemonade, right? So suppose that you just have these 2 things. You're going out to eat. You can buy baskets of wings. You can buy glasses of lemonade. I gave you the marginal utility numbers for each, right? The first basket of wings gives the consumer, gives you or some person, Joe, whoever it is, 45 units of utility. The second, there's diminishing marginal utility, so the second basket gives them 42, the third gives them 30, the fourth gives them 21, and etc. Lemonade, first glass, gives you 18 units of happiness or satisfaction or utility. The second glass 16, the third 14, the next 12, 10, 8, and etc. And then the other important things down here, I said suppose, oh, it is Joe, look at that, has a budget of 14, but wings are $3 a basket and lemonade is $1 a glass. So we have the marginal utility numbers, we have the price. What we really need to find is marginal utility per dollar, right? So marginal utility, actually let me make this bigger so I can write it neater. Marginal utility per dollar. And so if a basket of wings gives you 45 units of utility, or Joe gets that, but it costs you $3, what's the bang for your buck? What's the marginal utility per dollar? Well, 45 divided by the price, that's 3. I believe that will be 15. And if the second basket gives you 42 and you divide by 3, then what's the bang for your buck? What's the marginal utility per dollar? I believe that will be 14. The third basket gives you 30 utils or units of satisfaction or utility. So divide by the price of 3, that gives you 10. Right? 21 divided by 3, 7, 5, 4, 2, and then it goes negative, right? Minus 1. And it keeps going. We're not going to go right. We're not going to buy the units that give us negative marginal utility, so it doesn't matter so much. Now, what about for the lemonade? Lemonade gives you 18 units of satisfaction for the first glass. The first glass costs you $1. So we could calculate. I mean, what we really want to know, marginal utility per dollar, but lemonade costs $1, right? So if you divide each of these numbers by 1, you get exactly the same number. 18 divided by 1 gives you 18. I can write it down if that helps, right? 16 divided by the price of 1 gives you 16. So the marginal utility per dollar is going to be exactly, it's kind of sloppy, let's write these a little neater, exactly equal to the marginal utility number, right? We're just dividing by 1. So you can just skip that step too and just work off the typed column there. Now, if Joe has a budget of 14 bucks and the price is $3 a basket for wings and $1 a glass for lemonade, what should he do? Well, to maximize his utility, he wants to buy the stuff that gives him the greatest bang for his buck, the most marginal utility per dollar. So we're going to figure out what gives him the most bang for his buck, right? We said that to maximize your total utility, you want to, on the margin, buy the thing that gives you the most bang for your buck, the most marginal utility per dollar. And so up here, we'll keep, on the top, I'll keep a running tally of how much money we've spent. He has 14 bucks to spend. So what's he going to buy first? The first basket of wings, which gives him 15 units per dollar, or a glass of lemonade, which gives him 18 units of happiness per dollar. Well, to maximize the utility, he should buy the lemonade, right? Because 18 is greater than 15. So he's going to spend $1. Now, what should he get next? His first basket of wings, which gives him 15 units of happiness per dollar, or a second lemonade, which gives him 16 units of happiness per dollar. Whoa, hello. Well, next he should buy a second lemonade, right? So there's another $1. We'll tally these up. So now he has 2 lemonades and no hot wings. So what's the marginal utility per dollar for the third glass of lemonade? Well, that's 14. What's the marginal utility of the first basket of wings? Well, the marginal utility is 45, but the marginal utility per dollar is 15. So what should he do next? Well, he's going to buy a basket of hot wings, right? Because 15, the marginal utility per dollar from the first basket of wings is greater than the marginal utility per dollar for the third glass of lemonade, which is where he's at. He's going to buy a basket of wings. How much does that cost? Oh, $3. All right, so 1, 2, 3. We spent $5 so far. What do we do next? Wings or lemonade? Well, in this case, they both give him the same margin utility per dollar. So he could buy either one. It doesn't matter which one he does first. He has enough money to do both. So at the end of the day, if he does the wings first, and then he'll do the lemonade next, or if he does the lemonade first, he'll do the wings next. He can do them both, right? Now let's add up how much that costs. $3 for the wings, $1 for the lemonade. So he spent $9. All right, what's next? Well, next he should buy, would he buy the third basket of wings or the fourth lemonade? Well, there's more, don't lean that too far over, Smith. There's more bang for your buck, more margin utility per dollar by buying a glass of lemonade. Okay. So boom, there's the 10th dollar because he buys the fourth lemonade. What's he do next? Wings or lemonade? It doesn't matter, right? He gets the same bang for your buck from either, so he could do either one. Turns out he still has $4 left, so he can do both. But if he does both, right, so if he buys the lemonade, that's $1. And then if he buys the wings, that's $3. Oh, that's 14. He is out of money, right? And so this is where he stops. He would maximize his utility by buying 3 baskets of wings and 5 glasses of lemonade. And so if you add up the total utility numbers, 45 plus 42 plus 30 from wings, and 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10 from lemonade, that should be the highest amount of total utility he can reach, given those prices and the budget that he has. So that's the correct answer, right? How much of each should Joe consume to maximize his utility? What did I say? 3. Whoops, get rid of that. 3 baskets of wings and 5 glasses of lemonade. Show the work necessary to get your answer. That's what I did up here, right? I'd like to see some information that shows you calculated the marginal utility per dollar, and then you worked your way down through there until you ran out of money. So there you go. That's how you answer the first one. That's half the credit on the assignment. There are 2 questions. Number 2, comment on how public health measures like wearing masks and social distancing are means of dealing with externalities. This one should be pretty straightforward, right? Spreading illness to other people, though that's a negative externality, right? That if I'm infected and I go out and I spread illness to other people, I'm imposing costs on them, right? My actions going out and about without wearing a mask and without being cognizant of how close I am to other people and without practicing proper hand hygiene and without covering my cough or sneeze, those impose costs on other people. And so masks and social distancing, those are recommendations or requirements that are an effort to reduce negative externalities. That's all there is there. The last one, tradable pollution permits. How does that lead to the least cost method of reducing pollution? I wrote this out here, so hopefully that's fairly clear. But remember, different firms have different costs of pollution abatement. And from society's perspective, we'd like to get the optimal level of pollution abatement at the lowest possible cost, right? So let's get as much pollution abatement as we can, or at least as makes sense, let's say. Let's get the efficient level of pollution abatement, and let's do it at the lowest possible cost. To do that, we want the low-cost abaters, right? Those firms who can reduce their pollution at a lower marginal cost. They should do more of it. But on their own, they don't have an incentive to invest, to undertake costs to reduce pollution if their competitors, right? If their high pollution abatement, competitors don't. So how do we encourage that? How do we create incentives so that we get to, a cleaner environment, but at the lowest possible resource cost? Well, that's where the tradable pollution permits may be effective, because they provide a financial incentive to reduce pollution if you can do it at a lower cost, and to meet your pollution abatement requirements by buying permits if you can. If you're a high-cost abater, you should just buy permits to cover your pollution, If you're a low-cost abater, then maybe you reduce your level of pollution and sell those permits to the other firms who need them to cover their pollution output, but for whom it would be very costly to reduce their pollution. Remember, in the aggregate level, we don't care so much how much each particular firm is producing. What we care about is the total or aggregate level of pollution in the air. So there you go, 3 questions. I'm going to post a PDF of these answers as well. This is what I use when